Hello, welcome to our behind-the-scenes look at investing in hospitality, how owners, operators, and investors evaluate new opportunities. My name is Jan DeRoos. I'm the HVS Professor of Hotel Finance and Real Estate here at the School of Hotel Administration at Cornell University, and I want to extend a very warm welcome to you. In this module, we look at the investment decision as well as the major control decisions that surround the investment decision. With the assessment of hospitality opportunities, particularly hotels and restaurants, the investor is faced with three major decisions. The first is whether to own the real estate or to lease the real estate. The second is the decision about whether to be involved with the operation on a day-to-day basis or to hire a third party to manage the operation on your behalf. The third major decision is the level of branding, which is on a continuum from totally independent operation with no affiliation to a franchise brand with numerous and extensive brand standards. These three fundamental hotel and restaurant decisions exist regardless of the concept or the strategy. Let's look at the real estate decision first. In many cases, the investor has no choice but to lease the real estate. This is especially true in urban locations in very dense cores. Think of New York, Mumbai, Shanghai, London, Rio de Janeiro. All of these markets are characterized by high-rise buildings with apartments or offices above and street-level retail, of which restaurants are an important part of the mix. For drive-to locations, on the other hand, the investor is faced with the choice of leasing a building owned by someone else or building their own restaurant and operating it. Hotels, on the other hand, are almost universally owned and not leased. The only exception is certain European markets where buildings are not available, and so one must lease a building in order to open a hotel. Of course, owning the real estate is significantly more costly than leasing it. For example, the cost to lease a restaurant and startup are 30 to 40% of the cost of building a restaurant and fitting it out. The second major decision faced by investors is to self-operate or to hire a third party under a management contract. For hotels, it is much more common for the owner to hire a third-party manager, especially for the larger and more complicated hotels. The owner pays fees via hotel management agreement to the operator. Many hotels are owned by life insurance companies, pension funds, and sovereign wealth funds, all owners who have no interest in operating the hotel. These owners are especially fond of third-party branded managers, as hotels are owned for their investment benefits, not for the privilege of being in the hotel business. For the restaurant business, the dominant model is that of an owner-operator. There are very few restaurants that are operated by third parties. The exception here is in the very high-end entertainment venues like Las Vegas or Macau, where the celebrity chefs are hired to operate a restaurant on behalf of the venue owner. The third decision faced by investors is the branding decision. The hotel and restaurant business is quite interesting in this regard. While there are thousands of franchises and hundreds of thousands of franchised outlets, the business remains open to independent operators in a very big way. Both the hotel and the restaurant businesses are characterized by very successful independent operators. Branding practice varies widely throughout the world. In the hotel industry, for example, 70% of the supply of hotels is branded in the United States, if you count number of rooms. Just the opposite is true in the rest of the world, where only 30% of the room supply is branded. American hoteliers have embraced a model of owner-operator using a franchise brand. On the other hand, in the rest of the world, hoteliers in general remain fiercely independent. In the restaurant industry, the quick service, or so-called fast food market, is dominated by brands. As you move up and start entertaining more expensive concepts, the restaurant industry becomes more and more independent. There is a great tradition of fine dining independent restaurants throughout the world. We will explore these topics as we continue our behind-the-scenes look at investing in the hospitality industry. Thank you.